Welcome to Fieldcraft Chronicles. Imagine standing on the deck of a wooden longship, nothing but grey water stretching to every horizon, the sky obscured by thick North Atlantic fog. No compass needle to guide you, no satellite overhead, no chart table below deck, just you, the sea, and the knowledge passed down through generations of seafarers who turned the natural world into their navigation system. Between the 8th and 11th centuries, Viking explorers mastered one of humanity's most dangerous oceans, using techniques so sophisticated that modern scientists are still unraveling their secrets. Today, we're diving deep into the forgotten fieldcraft of Norse navigation, methods that allowed ordinary men to cross thousands of miles of open water and discover new worlds using nothing but observation, memory, and an almost supernatural reading of nature itself. Reading light through stone, the mystery of the sunstone. The Icelandic sagas speak of a magical crystal called the Solarstein, the sunstone, capable of revealing the hidden sun even when clouds smothered the sky. For centuries, this seemed like pure mythology, until scientists discovered that Iceland spar, a form of calcite crystal common in Scandinavian regions, possesses a remarkable property: it polarizes light. When you hold this transparent crystal up to an overcast sky and rotate it slowly, two distinct beams of light appear within the stone, changing in intensity as you turn. At a specific angle, these beams equalize in brightness, and that precise orientation points directly toward the sun's position, even through dense cloud cover. Modern experiments have proven this method works with astonishing accuracy, up to 100% under the right conditions. Picture a Norse navigator standing at the prow, wind whipping his cloak, salt spray stinging his face, holding this seemingly ordinary stone up to a steel-grey sky, reading angles of polarized light invisible to the naked eye, finding his heading when every other sailor in the world would be utterly lost in the consuming fog. The sun compass. Tracking the arc of light. When the clouds parted and the sun emerged, Viking navigators employed another ingenious tool, the sun compass, or shadow board. Archaeological evidence suggests these were wooden discs marked with precise notches, featuring a central pin called a gnomon that cast shadows throughout the day. The navigator would track the shadow's movement across the disc, using it to maintain a consistent eastward or westward heading. This wasn't simple sundial work. It required intimate knowledge of how the sun's path changed with latitude and season, a bearing that worked perfectly, leaving Norway would be useless near Greenland's frozen shores. The navigator had to recalculate constantly, adjusting for their position on Earth's curved surface, holding the ship on course through a geometry learned not from books, but from years of watching shadows dance across wooden boards, while the deck rolled beneath their feet. Latitude, sailing, following the invisible line. The Vikings mastered what modern sailors call latitude sailing, a technique of sailing north or south until reaching the same latitude as your destination, then turning east or west and holding that line across the ocean. At noon, when the sun reached its highest point, a skilled navigator could estimate latitude by judging the sun's angle above the horizon. At night, Polaris, the North Star, became their fixed reference point, an unmoving anchor in the wheeling heavens. This required no instruments beyond the human eye, and honestly a lifetime of practice. They learned to feel latitude in their bones, to know when they had reached the invisible east-west line that would carry them home or to new shores. Nature's hidden signposts. The ocean speaks. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Viking navigation was their ability to read the natural world as a living map. Experienced seafarers knew that land changed the behavior of everything around it, the air, the water, even the creatures within it. They watched for seabirds, knowing that puffins and ravens rarely ventured more than a day's flight from shore. The sagas tell of Floki Vilgadarsson releasing ravens to find Iceland, following them when they flew toward unseen land. They studied wave patterns with an intensity modern sailors can barely comprehend, understanding that swells refract around distant islands, creating interference patterns that reveal land masses beyond the horizon. Clouds, too, became signposts. Certain formations hover persistently over islands, visible long before the land itself. In the dense fog of the North Atlantic, a Viking navigator might smell land before seeing it, detecting the scent of vegetation or glacial ice carried on humid air currents, or tasting the subtle freshness where river water met salt sea. Conclusion: ancient wisdom for modern wayfarers. The Vikings conquered the North Atlantic not through superior technology, but through absolute mastery of observation, memory, and natural awareness. Their navigation techniques represent a form of fieldcraft we've largely forgotten, the ability to read an environment so completely that it becomes an extension of your own senses. In our age of GPS, satellites, and digital charts, there's profound value in understanding how our ancestors navigated by sunstone and star, by wave and bird, and the taste of the wind. Subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles, and, share this video with fellow history enthusiasts and survivalists who understand that the ancient arts of self-reliance still have everything to teach us today.